Hey guys, have you ever had a day or a couple days in a row where you just felt pretty good? Like you felt like you really were open to seeing the sunshine and things looked a little brighter and you really felt like, okay, I've got it now. I understand how things work now and I'm never going to fall back into my old ways. I'm never going to be back in a bad mood again or a low mood. I see the light. I'm staying in the light. And it feels really compelling. It feels like absolute truth that, yeah, I get it now. I see how the mind works. I see how the mind is evolutionarily conditioned to speak in certain ways. I'm not going to fall for that nonsense anymore. And it's like, I'm good. And then the next day you wake up and it's like the sun forgot to come up. And it feels like there's a wet, heavy quilt on you. And all of a sudden, everything you've learned, everything you've genuinely seen on an embodied level is not available to you. Things just look awful. Your mood is like in the toilet. You went from being like at the penthouse level to in the basement. And your little mind does what all human normal minds are evolutionarily conditioned to do: search for the cause. Is it my hormones? Is it my thyroid? Did I not sleep enough? Is it something that someone said to me? It must be that person that looked at me wrong. Your mind will jump in to your low mood, to your angst, and try to solve it. But that is never the place to go. Because the only reason the mind does that is because it thinks it gets to control your mood. But what if we could see this more like weather, more like regular human, like Mother Nature in human form? So we don't question really why some days are cloudy, why some days are rainy, why some days have thunderstorms, why some days have crystal clear blue skies. We just roll with it. And we realize fundamentally, every day, every hour shifts. Clouds roll in, they disappear. Storms move in, storms move out. It's just the way weather works. And I think that's the way we work too. Only we have these little minds that desperately want certainty. They want familiarity. There's a tough word. And they want more than anything absolute control. So, of course, when we have the equivalent of a sunny day, you just feel good. You just feel kind of open and light, and you're just kind of going through your day. The mind believes wholeheartedly it can hold that in place and carry it into the next day. But weather, human weather, is just like regular weather. You do not control it. In perfect season, in a perfect rhythm, just like in nature, you're going to have sunny days. You're going to have days where the aperture, sort of like the camera aperture, the aperture within you, is open. You see things. It's just a light day. You're in the flow. You don't notice a bunch of judgmental thoughts and a bunch of harsh thoughts and self-critical and critical of other people. You're just in the day. And right on cue, because you're just part of the natural cycle of weather, your aperture's going to close. And all you're going to see are dark clouds and fog and storms. And no matter how hard you try, you're just going to be in a low mood. You're just going to be in a fog, in a storm. It could be a great big thunderstorm, a hailstorm, a snowstorm. You don't have control over that. And that's the best news ever. Because being in a storm or a low mood day is not the same as suffering. You can absolutely be in a low mood where nothing looks good. When you're in a low mood day and the aperture of your lens has closed and the clouds have all rolled in, if you can actually allow that to grow your capacity to trust how weather works, how human weather works, It will actually grow your ability. I literally picture us like growing. It will grow your ability to ride the waves, the very normal, natural waves of life. So much easier. You're going to have low mood days. It's a given. You're going to have days when your aperture just closes. You don't control the aperture. You will have days where the aperture closes and you do not have access to perspective. You just don't. The suffering comes with two things: the expectation that you will just stay in sunny skies and bright, big aperture all the time. That is a recipe for suffering because you won't. It's not part of the design. The design is brilliant. The second thing that is huge with suffering that is not necessary is when the aperture closes and the fog rolls in and the low mood feels like it is just the biggest wet blanket on top of you. The suffering is not any of that. The suffering is the belief you need to figure that out. You need to manage it and control it and move it through and figure out the cause and get into all the, is it the hormones? Is it the thyroid? Is it it's endless what it could be. It's much simpler to just notice, oh, today the aperture's closed. Today the fog has descended. Today I'm in a storm. I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to let life move me through it. However that might look, who knows how it's going to look, but it is safe. It is trustworthy. Low mood days, closed aperture days, human stormy days, that's not suffering. That's not awful. That's just being human. That's just being part of nature. The suffering is only in the trying so hard to get out of it, trying so hard to figure out the cause of it. There's no cause. It's just happening and it's trustworthy and it's actually for you. It is so wonderful how it is in service of growing your capacity to trust what your mind so desperately wants: certainty, control, familiarity. But none of those three things, certainty, control, and familiarity, are necessary for peace, for joy, for just being in love with the day, no matter what kind of day it is. Changes everything. I hope this helps. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.